Okay. So when people think of the quote-unquote European Dobermans, people usually think of the big, giant, quote-unquote Dobermans that look badass or etc. because they're bigger and shit. It actually turns out that they're not badass, and they're not a fucking Doberman. They're mixed with something else, like a Dane or some type of Mastiff type, and they call it a fucking Doberman. No. And also another thing too is that they don't follow the standards that some of these people who are supporting these quote-unquote European Dobermans, which honestly, they're not, they're not European. They're just Great Dane or Doberman Mastiff or Doberman Great Dane mixes or whatever. Yeah. However, the FCI Doberman is the real European Doberman, obviously. But it is similar to the American Doberman in a lot of ways, like in terms of height at the withers and etc. The only difference is that the European has a different type of trot, and the European has more of a higher drive still than the American Doberman. And usually, though, there are some American Dobermans out there that do still have high drive, but naturally you do see the FCI Dobermans and even working line Dobermans have prey drive. Anyways, so another difference is that the American has more darker tan appearance-wise than the Americans, because the Americans have more of a light tan. The Europeans have more, well, the FCI has a darker appearance. The FCI only registers only 2 colors of the breed standard, meanwhile the American Kennel Club only registers only 4 colors in the breed: blue and tan, and Isabella, aka Fawn. The Americans, not the Americans, the Americans are just more of a conformation dog, but the FCI is just like with the European German Shepherd show line. They're not just a show dog, but they're also a working dog at the same time, which is pretty interesting because in Europe, that in some parts of Europe, the dog has to be a working dog before it becomes a show dog. At least I believe so. Yeah. But the FCI Doberman is the true Doberman. Those giant dogs, that people usually see, that weigh like 100 pounds or 110 to 115 or even 30 or 130 pounds, which is ridiculous. Fuck no. Those are completely different dogs, and they're backyard breeded, and they're deep chested. And when you have a deep chested dog, you're going to have a lot of problems as the dog gets older, because the dog can't run, and the dog is going to have, more DCM than the others. It can't work. And they don't have boxy heads. A Doberman has a narrow skull, like a greyhound a little bit. Yeah. So honestly, do your research before you get a Doberman. Do not get one of those deep-chested, hyper-type Dobermans, because they're fucking disgusting, and if you do, then you're gonna regret it someday.